All right, how's everybody doing today? So we made it to Thursday the 9th, which is fine because personally I'm looking for the 11th, right? But one thing that did turn up that I forgot to mention, it didn't turn up. Nothing's really turned up. It's the same stuff, right? Weather, fires, earthquakes, tornadoes, hail, heat in one part, fervent heat, and then we're going to have a big cooling this weekend if you watch the weather. So that's also looking promising. But one thing I want to show you, so I said, like in Back to the Future, time's actually running backwards to that point where the reality shifted, right? So as time goes backwards, if we turn it around and play it out forward, let's go back to the script. In the beginning, man was made on the sixth day, right? So if they landed here, we were found, and the pandemic started here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on the sixth day, these little people you run around inside of was created, and from that point forward has been the pandemic. We didn't evolve from monkeys. And in fact, let me put it to you this way. Let's go back to the garden, Cain and Abel. If the garden was the start of everything, where we came from, which is true, this right here, the pandemic. When Cain had a mark put on his forehead to protect him, and I don't think it was a mark like you think. If you put a crown on somebody's head, it covers their forehead, right? That Jesus guy wore a crown of thrones and it covered his forehead, supposedly. So he was kicked out of the garden and lived amongst other people and took a wife there, and he was protected from those people. Now today we see that playing out as, I don't know, diplomatic credentials. Those people can go anywhere in the world and you can't touch them. Not even the law can touch them, right? I'm just saying. They left the garden and went out, and is what it is. Now, the other thing that's really funny about what's coming up this weekend is Paramount is running some pretty funny ads about the upcoming UFC fight. And they even say in it, surprise, surprise, the king is back. Now, I've been trying to find the exact commercial that I keep seeing show up on the internet. I don't know what plays on everybody's feeds about that, or if they've even seen those commercials. In fact, someone's even got a headline here. It says, explore the past, present, and future of UFC. But they're touting it as the return of the king. Once in a lifetime event is going to take place on the 11th. The return of the king. So, that's just some more good news, I guess. Some other things that like I said, I search a lot of stuff. I only put out the relative stuff. People are looking for, when, the church people are looking for the rapture, right? Me personally, again, I've described it before as like the old TV show Quantum Leap. That's all it is. We are Q, quantum, quantum leap. We just leap through timelines. I compared it to Night at the Museum, where it showed, and I even showed this in a video before, where it shows them being chased by the Roman guards and they jump into a picture frame that's post World War II, right? And there's people in there, they're just jumping into the picture frame, and all those people are there. So, but when you look at the flag of the United States, stars on a field of blue, right? Stars. So each one of our states is probably also symbolic of somewhere in space. Like, just to give you an example, this right here is the California Nebula, right? So just like the Earth is the Earth is a whole. It's not just your stupid religion. The Earth is a whole. Is the remnant church. Everybody's up under a dome, right? In fact, and there's a whole bunch out there. You know, we can I don't know. I'm gonna show you something here too, real quick. Boston, Don't Look Back album cover. Okay, now this has been kind of in our face for years. Everybody, I can't say everybody know who's Boston is. But you see that up there? There's a dome. And there's buildings in there. And it's on the back of a spaceship. Now, some people, sects of life, if you will, genres, say that we're on the back of a turtle. I don't remember if that comes out of the Hopi or not. I don't think so. I don't remember. But it's just one of those things. You know, they put this stuff out there. I found this ad to be funny. NASA. It's just a funny. NASA wants to go deeper into Uranus. You know, that's just, you know, is what it is. We'll put this stuff out there. You know, once Mars had a magnetic field just like it, because, yeah. So the Earth is the remnant church. The whole thing. So when the Earth passes, so like California, Texas, all these places are going to become what they were. The Earth is symbolic of what's left, the remnant of everything, the whole universe, so to speak. That's what I've been saying for years. That's why peace and safety, they're all making their deals, right? And they'll label them whatever they want. They're all making their deals so that it's galactic peace, not just peace here. But that's just the way I see it. But anyway, yeah, so the fourth, if you run it backwards, the reflecting pool, the F-35, and that started it all. So we've reached the end. And we may not even have to go to the 11th, but, you know, just based on the math and running down the board on the last video, the 11th looked good, and then all of a sudden this commercial started popping up about the return of the king, and I thought that was pretty promising as well. So hang in there. If you're hot, stay cool. If you're drowning, try to stay dry. It's you know, it's our equivalent of, you know, like Men in Black, right? Men in Black 3, where there's death, there will always be death. Babylon fell, so it's symbolically going to fall again. It's not going to. All these things happen, you know, while we keep looping through. You can't just crash the system. Okay, you can only remove pieces of it at a time that it can handle. So, you know, we loop through, we take out a little. Everybody makes their adjustment. We loop through, we take out a little. Because, you know, you can go back 5 years ago and they were talking about the 3 biggest banks in the world have shut down. And like I said, nothing new has happened since 2024. All the same events have just kind of run their course. And so you can also see the collapsing timelines. You know, something that once took years to run a loop, an entire year, is now playing out in the span of weeks, months, you know, because we had the mirror, right, with Noah, and the you had the days of Noah, and the days that mirrored Noah, Noah, right? So on the, on the hopscotch board, you had the days of Noah, and then the days that mirrored Noah, right? And this was what, about 3 weeks long, another 3 weeks, give or take. This goes back into February, right? And so once that happened, it started condensing down. We went from taking years to do a loop, and sometimes it's even decades. Some of these loops take 10 years, some of them take 20 years. There's always cycles within the big cycle. But as it loops down and loops down and loops down, it went from taking, decades to months to weeks. Now it's just a matter of days that we've reduced down to. And I said we may even have to get to August, but that could be the days being shortened so we don't get to August. Like I said, the 11th for me is still looking very strong. Nothing's changed my opinion of that since the last video. So I just thought I'd put this together. There was that last little bit that showed up in the news about the fight coming up and how they're labeling it. Thought you might find that curious. And I love all the comments that people are leaving, because you guys are looking, right? Everybody's got their own little piece. I'm not going to be the guy sitting out here talking about, this is going to happen, that is going to happen. There's so many, people that are talking about, like even, there's, and the biggest one is Trump. And I even talked about this in a podcast with Raven. It'd probably be a year or so ago now, maybe 2 years ago, where we were questioning what was going to be the deal with Trump. Would he, and there's so many people talking about, he's got to go, and yes, he'll go. But he may not go before us. The first will be last and the last will be first. If they beat us in here, then we dropped in, so we're going to go. Now, it's all going to be at the same time. See, that's the problem with the religion. They're, the elect, and we're special, and we're going to be saved, and you're going to burn in hell, and blah, blah. No. I think half these people, like I said, it's going to play out one of a handful of ways. Either we're going to remember this like a bad dream, or we're not going to remember it all. Or some people may even remember most of it. It's going to, because everybody's on their own individual walk. But it's going to be so funny to see the reaction on the church crowd when this happens and things aren't the way they think they're going to be. But nobody really knows the way it's going to be. I just foresee it being a different thing myself. So anyway, chin up, stay tough. Couple more tough days to go through, I think. We may even get crazier stuff, They're talking about the oil running out, and let's go back to that. The days being shortened to save the flesh. If you cut your flesh, what comes out? Blood, right? And I've been saying all along that oil is burnt blood. So we're probably not going to run completely out. You're seeing it now. A shortage is here, but gas prices going up. It's not going to be gone. It's going to be more of a struggle than it was 2 months ago. That's all. As in the days of Noah, they're going to be partying and drinking and it's just going to be day after day stuff. Period. Everybody's waiting for the stock market to collapse. It's been up and down this whole time. This whole 3-year period, it's been going up and down and up and down. It's not going anywhere. We are going. That's just how that goes. It is what it is. So y'all have a wonderful day. And if the 11th comes and goes, we'll keep looking. But I don't know. This could be it here. It's been a pleasure. I love all of you. I love the comments. Some of you guys know as much or more. But yeah, I wanted to show the reverse and how that kicked into the pandemic, because we actually had the end of a pandemic stated under Biden, because I covered this exact same timeline back when Biden was in office. I'm just saying. So anyway, enough of that. I love you all. Take care. Bye-bye.